Beloved soul, welcome back to Angels Say channel, where divine insight meets divine timing. I'm so glad you're here today. I don't believe in coincidences, and neither should you. Because if you found this video, there is something heaven needs you to hear. This message about someone young and rich hiding a secret, and angels seeing you in white, it's not random, it's not chance. It's divine orchestration, and you're being prepared for it in this very moment. Before we begin, I want to invite you to type, "I am ready," in the comments as a powerful act of faith. Declare it right now. Let the heavens hear your agreement. When you type these words, you're aligning with a higher purpose. You're stepping into the truth of what's being spoken over your life today. There's a profound shift occurring in the spiritual atmosphere around you. The angels have been watching closely, observing every tear, every prayer, every moment when you thought no one was noticing. But heaven has been taking detailed notes. Your faithfulness in the shadows is about to be rewarded in the light. Someone has been hiding their true feelings for you. Someone whose resources are abundant, whose heart is young regardless of their physical age, and whose soul recognizes yours from a divine blueprint established before time began. I want you to understand something fundamental about spiritual revelations. They often come wrapped in mystery, not because God wishes to confuse you, but because He's protecting the perfect timing of all things. Think about a master chef who doesn't reveal all the ingredients at once but adds each at the perfect moment. Your Creator is orchestrating your life with this same precision and care. Type "I trust" in the comments if you're feeling this truth resonating in your spirit. When you declare your trust, you're not just typing words, you're activating faith. And faith is the currency of the supernatural realm. The angels have been whispering about someone who sees you in white. White represents purity, new beginnings, divine purpose, and yes, sometimes matrimony. But even beyond the physical symbolism, it represents how purely this person sees your soul. They see past your mistakes, your perceived flaws, your moments of weakness. They see you bathed in divine light the way heaven sees you. This person has been given spiritual eyes to recognize your value when others have overlooked it. You've been through seasons where you felt invisible, where your worth was questioned, where your light was dimmed by circumstances or by people who couldn't handle your authentic radiance. These seasons weren't punishment, they were preparation. Every trial has been refining you. Every heartbreak has been expanding your capacity to receive love. Every disappointment has been redirecting you toward your true destiny. The young and rich soul I'm speaking of may not fit your expectations. Remember that true wealth isn't always measured in material possessions, though this person does have abundant resources. True youth isn't always about physical age, but about a spirit that remains open, curious, and full of wonder. This person has both material blessings and a youthful spirit that complements your own essence perfectly. Type "I receive clarity" if you're seeking greater understanding about this divine connection. Your declaration activates spiritual insights. For months, perhaps even years, this person has been holding a secret. The secret isn't malicious or harmful, it's sacred. They've been harboring feelings, intentions, and dreams involving you that they've been divinely instructed to keep close to their heart until the proper time. Just as a seed needs darkness before it can push toward the light, some divine plans require secrecy before their glorious revelation. The angels smile when they see how this connection is unfolding. They know the end from the beginning. They see how perfectly your paths are aligning, even when from your earthly perspective it may seem like you're moving in opposite directions. Divine geometry doesn't follow human logic. What appears to be separation may actually be the necessary repositioning for a powerful convergence. You may have had dreams or visions of wearing white, perhaps in a ceremony, perhaps in a moment of spiritual significance. These aren't just random thoughts. They're prophetic glimpses into your destiny. The subconscious often receives divine downloads that your conscious mind isn't yet ready to process. Your spirit has been seeing what your eyes cannot yet perceive. The timing of this revelation is critical. You're receiving this message now because you've reached a crucial juncture in your spiritual journey. You've demonstrated faithfulness with what you've been given. You've shown heaven that you can be trusted with divine secrets. You've proven your resilience through storms that would have destroyed someone with weaker faith. Type, "I embrace timing," to align yourself with divine chronology. Heaven's clock doesn't tick to the rhythm of human impatience. This young and wealthy soul has been divinely positioned in your orbit. Perhaps you've already met them. Perhaps they're about to enter your life. Perhaps they've been there all along, but in a role you never considered as significant. The angels are orchestrating a divine unveiling, a moment when spiritual scales will fall from both your eyes, and you'll recognize each other in a new light. They see you in white because they recognize your spiritual identity. White represents your forgiven state, your redeemed essence, your purified purpose. This vision isn't just about a potential ceremony or union. It's about how clearly they perceive who you truly are beneath the layers of life's complications and disappointments. You've been praying for confirmation, for clarity, for a sign that you're moving in the right direction. This message is that sign. The angels want you to know that your prayers have created ripples in the spiritual realm. These ripples have touched the shores of this person's consciousness, even if they don't fully understand the source of their thoughts about you. The secret they've been keeping involves plans, dreams, and visions that include you. They've been divinely instructed not to speak prematurely, not because deception is encouraged, but because sacred things require sacred timing. Just as a farmer doesn't harvest unripe fruit, divine connections can't be rushed beyond their appointed season. Type 2. I honor the process if you're committing to respecting divine timing. Your patience is not just a virtue, it's a spiritual weapon against premature manifestation. The angels have been working meticulously behind the scenes, removing obstacles, silencing adversaries, and preparing the perfect circumstances for this revelation to unfold. They've been guarding this connection jealously because they understand its significance in the divine tapestry of both your lives. You may have experienced recent disappointments or endings that seemed painful at the time. These weren't failures. They were divine interventions creating necessary space for what's coming. Sometimes doors must close firmly behind you before new ones can open before you. Trust the process. The architect of your destiny hasn't forgotten the blueprints. This young and rich soul has been tested as well. Their resources haven't come without responsibility. Their success hasn't come without sacrifice. They've been prepared through their own journey of refinement to be worthy of the connection that's unfolding. The secret they hold is the culmination of their own spiritual maturation. White also represents surrender, the complete yielding to divine purpose. Both you and this person have been undergoing a process of surrender, releasing control, embracing trust, and allowing yourselves to be divinely positioned. This mutual surrender creates the perfect spiritual atmosphere for your paths to converge. I want to speak directly to your doubts for a moment. You've questioned whether you're worthy of something this beautiful. You've wondered if such divine orchestration could possibly be unfolding for someone like you. These doubts aren't from heaven. They're the final resistance of an old identity that's desperately trying to keep you small. Your worthiness isn't based on your perfection. It's based on your creation and redemption. Type, I reject doubt, to break agreement with these limiting beliefs. Your declaration carries spiritual authority to silence the voices of unworthiness. The angels rejoice when they see you stepping into faith despite your fears. They celebrate your courage to believe for things your eyes haven't yet seen. They honor your willingness to trust beyond the boundaries of human logic. This courage is precisely why you've been chosen for such a divine connection. This young and wealthy soul sees you in white because they recognize your value beyond surface appearances. They see the purity of your intentions, the sincerity of your heart, the authenticity of your spirit. They see you clothed in dignity and worth that no circumstance can diminish. Their secret has been kept not out of deception, but out of reverence. Some divine connections are too sacred to be casually discussed, too precious to be prematurely exposed to the elements of others' opinions and judgments. Like a masterpiece covered until the perfect unveiling, this connection has been protected for its appointed time. You've been in a season of preparation. Though you may have mistaken it for delay, nothing has been wasted. Every lesson, every heartache, every moment of growth has been equipping you for what's coming. You've been developing the spiritual maturity, emotional intelligence, and unwavering faith necessary to steward this connection properly. The wealth this person possesses isn't just for their benefit. It's meant to be a blessing that flows through both your lives into the lives of others. Divine connections always have purpose beyond personal fulfillment. They're established as conduits of blessing, vessels of purpose, channels of divine influence in a world desperate for authentic light. Type, I accept my purpose, if you're ready to embrace the greater calling on this connection. Your willingness activates divine empowerment. The image of you in white that this person carries is divinely implanted. It's not just a casual thought or a fleeting imagination. It's a spiritual vision that has been consistently reinforced through dreams, quiet moments, and divine whispers. They couldn't stop seeing you this way even if they tried, because it's not originating from them, but through them. You've felt drawn to prepare yourself recently, haven't you? Perhaps organizing your life, releasing toxic relationships, improving your health, deepening your spiritual practices. These weren't random urges. They were divine nudges preparing you for this divine appointment. Nothing about this connection is accidental or coincidental. The secret this young and wealthy soul has been keeping has been causing them both joy and tension. Joy because of the beautiful possibility it represents. Tension because timing requires restraint. They've had to surrender their human timeline to divine chronology, trusting that when the moment is perfect, all will be revealed. I sense that some of you are wondering if this message is truly for you. The divine doesn't deal in generic platitudes. This revelation has your spiritual fingerprint on it. It resonates with specific prayers you've prayed in secret, tears you've shed when no one was watching, and dreams you've barely dared to whisper, even to yourself. The angels want you to know that your faithfulness has been noticed. your consistency when it wasn't convenient, your integrity when it wasn't easy, your faith when it wasn't logical. All of these have positioned you for this divine connection. You've been qualifying yourself through character when you thought you were merely surviving. Type, I stand in faith to declare your position of spiritual readiness. Your stance determines your reception. The white garments in this vision represent more than just a moment or an event. They represent a new season, a fresh chapter, a divine reset in your life story. White pages waiting to be written with adventures that exceed your most daring prayers. White horizons expanding beyond the limitations you've accepted as permanent boundaries. This young and wealthy individual has been divinely selected as your complement, not your completion, for you are already complete in your spiritual identity, but as the divine counterpart who enhances your strengths, supplements your weaknesses, and partners with your purpose. They see in you what others have overlooked. The secret they've been keeping involves plans that would overwhelm you if revealed all at once. Divine wisdom has measured the revelation to match your capacity to receive. Like light filtered through stained glass, truth sometimes arrives in colored fragments rather than blinding wholeness. You've been through a season of divine isolation that has felt lonely, but has been absolutely necessary. In this sacred solitude, you've developed spiritual muscles and intuitive senses that will be essential for navigating this connection properly. What seemed like abandonment was actually protection and preparation. The white garments in their vision of you represent your
redeemed identity, who you are beyond mistakes, beyond wounds, beyond limitations.
They see you as heaven sees you, washed clean, standing tall, radiating the light of authentic purpose. This vision sustains them during moments of doubt or difficulty. Type, I claim my identity, to align yourself with this heavenly perspective. Your self-perception creates the energetic atmosphere around your life. The wealth this person possesses isn't just financial, though that aspect exists. True wealth encompasses wisdom gained through experience, character developed through testing, perspective refined through challenges, and resources multiplied through faithful stewardship. They bring a holistic abundance that complements your journey. The timing of this revelation has been precisely calibrated to intersect with your spiritual readiness. Too soon, and it would have been squandered. Too late, and unnecessary pain would have occurred. Divine timing isn't just about the when. It's about the perfect convergence of preparation and opportunity. You may have recently experienced a significant ending or transition. This wasn't the universe punishing you, it was divine love creating necessary space. Sometimes relationships, jobs, or circumstances must be cleared away to make room for what's been divinely allocated to your future. Trust the clearing process. The angels want you to know that your tears have been collected, your prayers have been recorded, and your faithfulness has been rewarded. Nothing has been overlooked in the divine accounting of your journey. Every moment of obedience when it would have been easier to compromise has been credited to your spiritual account. This young and wealthy soul who sees you in white has also been through their own refining fire. Their resources haven't shielded them from necessary growth. If anything, their abundance has created unique challenges and responsibilities that have prepared them specifically for the connection that's unfolding. Type, I welcome refinement to embrace the ongoing process of spiritual development. Your willingness accelerates your readiness. The secret they've been keeping is wrapped in divine timing and purpose. It's not about deception, but about protection. protecting the purity of what's developing, guarding it from premature exposure, allowing it to strengthen in sacred privacy before facing the elements of public opinion and scrutiny. You've sensed changes in the spiritual atmosphere around you recently. Increased dreams, heightened intuition, unexpected moments of clarity or emotion. These aren't random fluctuations. They're the ripple effects of angelic activity, divine positioning, and spiritual preparation for what's unfolding. The vision of you in white carries multifaceted symbolism. White represents new beginnings, divine favor, spiritual authority, and sacred purpose. This person sees all these dimensions in you, recognizing layers of your identity and destiny that you yourself are still discovering. Divine connections don't just happen. They're strategically orchestrated by heavenly wisdom that sees beyond current circumstances into future necessities. Your paths are converging not just for mutual blessing but for kingdom purpose that extends far beyond your personal fulfillment. You've been faithful with little, and now you're being entrusted with much. The lessons of scarcity weren't punishment. They were education in appreciation, stewardship, and values that will serve you well in the season of abundance that's approaching. Nothing has been wasted in your journey. Type "I steward wisely" to align yourself with principles of divine abundance. Your attitude toward blessings determines their multiplication. The angels have been assigned specifically to guard this connection. They've been working diligently behind the veil of the visible, rearranging circumstances, influencing decisions, creating divine appointments, and establishing the perfect conditions for revelation. Their activity explains coincidences that defy statistical probability. This young and wealthy individual who can't stop seeing you in white has been given divine discernment to recognize authentic value in a world obsessed with appearances. They see beyond social masks, beyond carefully curated presentations, into the genuine essence of who you are and who you're becoming. The secret they've been keeping has been tested through opposition. They've faced doubts, both internal and external. They've encountered resistance to what they know in their spirit. They've wrestled with timing and approach. Yet through all this, the vision of you in white has remained constant, a fixed point of divine certainty. You've been through disappointments that made you question whether dreams can truly become reality. These painful moments weren't meant to discourage you, but to detach you from inferior versions of what heaven has planned. Sometimes dreams must die so that divine visions can take their place. The white garments in this vision speak of honor being restored where shame once resided, of dignity replacing dishonor, of divine favor superseding human rejection. This person sees your spiritual royalty when others have treated you as common. They recognize your exceptional nature when others have missed it entirely. Type "I receive honor" to position yourself for this divine restoration. Your receptivity creates capacity for blessing. This connection transcends ordinary relationship dynamics. It's being established with eternal purposes in mind, with kingdom agenda as its foundation, with divine legacy as its intention. What's unfolding isn't just about personal happiness. It's about purpose that extends beyond your lifetime. The wealth this person brings includes perspectives gained through their unique journey, wisdom earned through their specific challenges, and resources developed through their particular gifts. Their abundance isn't meant to overshadow you, but to complement what you bring to the divine equation. You've been through a wilderness season that felt barren, but was actually fertile with purpose. In apparent emptiness, Your roots have grown deeper. In seeming isolation, your character has grown stronger. In painful waiting, your capacity has expanded. Nothing about this desert experience has been purposeless. The angels rejoice over your perseverance. When giving up seemed reasonable, you continued. When faith seemed foolish, you believed. When progress seemed imperceptible, you persisted. This tenacity hasn't just been noticed, it's been celebrated in realms you can't yet see. This young and wealthy soul has been divinely positioned to recognize what others have overlooked in you. They see potential where others see problems, promise where others see past, purpose where others see pain. Their vision of you in white reflects this comprehensive recognition of your true identity. Type, I embrace my value, to align with this heavenly perspective of your worth. Your self-perception creates boundaries for your experience. The secret they've been keeping involves intentions that honor your dignity, plans that respect your purpose, and visions that celebrate your authentic essence. Unlike manipulative human agendas, divine intentions always uplift rather than exploit, empower rather than control. You've been sensing a call to greater authenticity recently, an urge to remove masks, to speak truth, to live aligned with your deepest values. This isn't random restlessness, it's divine preparation. Authentic connections require authentic participants. You're being called to integrity as foundation for what's coming. The image of you in white represents spiritual covering, divine protection over your life, purpose, and well-being. This person recognizes the sacred nature of your journey and approaches with reverence rather than casualness, with intentionality rather than impulsiveness. Divine timing often feels delayed from human perspective, but it's precisely calibrated from heaven's viewpoint. What seems like waiting is actually synchronized orchestration, ensuring all elements are perfectly positioned before the curtain rises on this new chapter in your story. You've experienced betrayals that made trust difficult. These painful lessons weren't meant to close your heart permanently, but to develop discernment that distinguishes between authentic connection and counterfeit intimacy. Your wounds have become wisdom that will serve you well. Type, I choose discernment to activate this spiritual protection over your heart. Your boundaries honor both yourself and authentic connection. The angels want you to know that your prayers for divine partnership have been heard. Not just heard, actively responded to through heavenly orchestration beyond what your eyes can currently see. Faith isn't believing despite evidence. It's trusting before evidence appears. This young and wealthy individual who sees you in white brings not just resources but responsibility. True abundance always carries accountability. They understand that blessing is meant to flow through them, not merely to them. This perspective aligns with divine economics rather than worldly accumulation. The secret they've been keeping has been divinely protected from premature exposure. Like precious seeds that require darkness before germination, some divine purposes need sacred covering before their appointed revelation. This protection isn't about deception, but about divine development. You've been through cycles of hope and disappointment that tested your resilience. These weren't cruel cosmic games, but necessary strengthening of your spiritual muscles. Just as physical strength develops through resistance, faith grows through overcoming opposition. The white garments in this vision speak of celebration, divine joy over who you are, heavenly delight in your uniqueness, sacred pleasure in your authentic essence. This person has been given glimpses of how heaven sees you, and it has transformed how they see you. Type, I receive joy to align yourself with divine celebration over your life. Your agreement creates atmosphere for manifestation. This connection has been written in divine records before either of you recognized its possibility. Soul alignments aren't accidents or mere chemical attractions. They're heavenly appointments, established with kingdom purpose and eternal perspective. Your paths have been divinely synchronized. The wealth this person stewards includes not just financial abundance, but emotional health, spiritual maturity, and relational wisdom. True riches encompass all dimensions of human experience. They bring a holistic prosperity that complements your journey rather than complicating it. You've questioned whether your dreams were delusions, whether your hopes were merely wishful thinking. This doubt wasn't a character flaw, but a necessary refinement, separating human fantasy from divine vision, personal agenda from kingdom purpose. Purified faith emerges from tested hope. The angels have been specifically assigned to clear obstacles from this connection's path. Some barriers you've seen fall, others have been removed before you even encountered them. Divine intervention often works most effectively when it remains invisible to human awareness. This young and wealthy soul recognizes something in you that resonates with their divine assignment. They see you in white because they perceive your spiritual compatibility, your purposeful alignment, your complementary calling. This vision sustains their patience during necessary waiting. Type I align with purpose to position yourself with this divine compatibility. Your intention activates spiritual magnetism. The secret they've been keeping involves hopes that seem too sacred to speak, dreams that felt too precious to expose, and plans that required divine protection from premature judgment. Sacred things deserve sacred handling and perfect timing. You've been developing spiritual sensitivity that will be crucial for this connection. The ability to discern divine leading, to recognize heavenly timing, to perceive spiritual significance in seemingly ordinary moments. These skills haven't developed by accident, but by divine design. The image of you in white represents spiritual authority, the divine empowerment to fulfill your purpose, to overcome opposition, to establish kingdom principles in your sphere of influence. This person sees this mantle of authority on you, even when circumstances have temporarily obscured it. Divine connections aren't established merely for personal happiness, though joy is certainly a byproduct. They're created for kingdom impact, for spiritual legacy, for multi-generational influence that extends far beyond individual fulfillment. Your union has purpose beyond yourselves. You've experienced divine closure in certain areas of your life recently. Doors that have firmly shut, chapters that have decisively ended, seasons that have clearly concluded. This divine finality isn't punishment. It's protection, preventing you from remaining in what you've outgrown. Type, I embrace new seasons to align yourself with divine transitions. Your cooperation accelerates heavenly timing. The angels celebrate your growth through adversity. When challenges could have made you bitter, you chose growth. When disappointment could have fostered cynicism, you nurtured hope. When delay could have killed faith, you sustained belief. This spiritual maturity qualifies you for what's coming. This young and wealthy individual who can't stop seeing you in white has been divinely positioned to recognize your value in a culture that often misses authentic worth. They see with spiritual eyes rather than cultural lenses, with heavenly perspective rather than worldly evaluation. The secret they've been keeping involves divine instruction for perfect timing. Some revelations require precise moments, specific circumstances, and particular spiritual atmospheres. Premature disclosure would diminish rather than enhance the divine purpose being established. You've been sensing a call to higher standards recently, in your thoughts, your words, your actions, your associations. This elevated consciousness isn't random moral improvement. It's divine preparation, aligning your life with the level of connection being established for your future. The white garments in this vision speak of spiritual readiness, preparedness for divine assignment, availability for kingdom purpose, equipping for supernatural partnership. This person recognizes that you've been through necessary preparation, though the process has often been painful. Type, I stand prepared to declare your spiritual readiness. Your proclamation activates heavenly recognition. This connection transcends superficial compatibility and extends into spiritual alignment. Beyond personality preferences or physical attraction, it's rooted in divine purpose, kingdom values, and eternal perspective. Its foundation isn't shifting emotion but unchanging principles. The wealth this person brings includes lessons learned through both abundance and scarcity. True prosperity isn't merely having everything, but appreciating everything, stewarding everything, and sharing everything with wisdom and purpose. Their resources come with responsibility. You've been through divine pruning that felt painfully restrictive but was actually productively directive. Like a gardener removing what drains vitality, heaven has been removing distractions, divisions, and diversions that would have diminished your capacity for what's coming. The angels have been assigned not just to prepare this connection, but to protect it from premature exposure, from unnecessary opposition, from spiritual attack. Divine purposes of significance always attract both heavenly protection and adversarial attention. Nothing valuable comes uncontested. This young and wealthy soul who sees you in white recognizes divine marks on your life, evidence of heavenly selection, spiritual designation, and kingdom authorization that may be invisible to casual observers but is unmistakable to spiritually discerning eyes. Type, I accept my calling to align with this divine designation. Your agreement releases supernatural empowerment. The secret they've been keeping involves plans being divinely perfected through patience. Like master craftsmen who refuse to rush their finest work, heaven has been meticulously developing every detail of this connection with precision that human hurry would have compromised. You've been experiencing increased spiritual sensitivity, dreams more vivid, intuition more accurate, discernment more precise. These aren't random developments, but divine equipping, supernatural tools being sharpened for the assignment connected to this divine relationship. The image of you in white represents your spiritual position, seated in heavenly places, established in divine favor, anchored in unshakable identity. This person sees beyond temporary circumstances to your eternal standing, beyond current challenges to your ultimate victory. Divine connections require divine preparation. The delays you've experienced weren't divine punishment, but heavenly protection, preventing premature union that would have compromised the fullness of what's being established. Patience isn't just virtue, it's wisdom embracing perfect timing. You've endured seasons of divine silence when heaven seemed deaf to your prayers. This apparent absence wasn't abandonment but advancement, developing your spiritual muscles, testing your sustaining faith, establishing your unconditional trust. Nothing builds strength like resistance. Type, I trust the silence to align with divine development. Your surrender creates space for supernatural work. The angels want you to know that your tears have watered seeds of promise now ready to break through surface visibility. Nothing has been wasted. Not your waiting, not your wondering, not your wounded hoping. Divine economy recycles even pain into purpose. This young and wealthy individual, who can't stop seeing you in white, brings perspectives gained through their unique journey, wisdom earned through specific challenges, insights developed through particular experiences, resources cultivated through distinctive gifts. Their abundance complements yours. The secret they've been keeping has been tested through opposition, both internal and external. They've faced doubts about timing, questions about certainty, pressure toward premature disclosure. Yet the vision of you in white has remained a fixed point of divine assurance amid human uncertainty. You've been experiencing a divine restlessness recently, a holy dissatisfaction with status quo, a sacred discontent with settling, a spiritual hunger for authentic purpose. This divine disturbance isn't punishment, but invitation, calling you beyond comfortable limitations into expansive purpose. The white garments in this vision speak of divine covering, protection over your purpose, guardianship over your calling, defense against premature exposure. This person recognizes the sacred nature of your assignment and approaches with appropriate reverence rather than casual entitlement. Type, I receive protection, to align with this divine covering. Your acknowledgement activates angelic assignment. This connection transcends cultural expectations and social conventions. It follows divine patterns rather than human traditions, heavenly blueprints rather than earthly examples. Its uniqueness reflects your own distinctive calling and specific assignment in the kingdom. The wealth this person stewards isn't measured merely in material abundance, but in character substance, integrity that withstands testing, values that resist compromise, principles that transcend convenience. True riches always begin with internal wealth before extending to external resources. You've been through divine testing that felt unnecessarily intense, but was perfectly calibrated to develop specific strengths needed for your future assignment. Like precious metals purified through specific temperatures, your resilience has been customized through particular challenges. The angels have been specifically commissioned to synchronize divine timing for this connection, aligning circumstances, orchestrating encounters, removing obstacles, and establishing perfect conditions for revelation. Heavenly chronology follows purpose rather than preference. This young and wealthy soul, who sees you in white, recognizes kingdom potential in you that transcends current manifestation. They see harvest where others see only seeds, completion where others notice only process, destiny fulfilled where others observe merely development. Type, I embrace process to align with divine development. Your patience honors heavenly timing. The secret they've been keeping involves divine instruction for sacred stewardship. Some revelations carry responsibility that requires preparation, wisdom that demands maturity, and timing that necessitates patience. Their discretion reflects reverence rather than reluctance. You've been experiencing increased spiritual clarity recently, greater understanding of your purpose, deeper insight into your calling, sharper discernment about your path. This supernatural illumination isn't random enlightenment, but divine preparation for decisions connected to this relationship. The image of you in white represents divine selection, chosen for specific purpose, selected for particular assignment, designated for unique influence. This person sees heavenly handprints on your life that casual observers miss, but spiritually attuned eyes recognize instantly. Divine connections follow heavenly rather than human logic. What seems illogical by worldly wisdom often aligns perfectly with kingdom principles. Your path toward this relationship may defy conventional reasoning, while fulfilling supernatural purpose with divine precision. You've endured seasons that developed your capacity to stand alone, periods of isolation that felt like rejection, but were actually preparation for authentic connection. Genuine union requires individuals secure in their identity rather than seeking completion through dependency. Type, I stand complete to declare your wholeness. Your acknowledgement creates healthy foundation for connection. The angels celebrate your growth through surrender, your willingness to release control, to trust divine timing, to follow heavenly leading even when the path seemed unclear. This yielded heart positions you for connection that enhances rather than defines your identity. This young and wealthy individual who can't stop seeing you in white has been divinely positioned to recognize value systems aligned with kingdom principles. They see beyond cultural measurements to eternal metrics, beyond temporary achievements to lasting legacy. The secret they've been keeping involves vision being divinely protected until proper establishment. Like foundations laid below ground before buildings rise above it, some purposes require invisible development before visible manifestation. Their patience honors this divine process. You've been sensing divine acceleration recently. Increased opportunities, multiplied connections, expanded influence. This supernatural speed isn't random momentum but divine timing. Heavenly calendars aligning with earthly circumstances for purposes larger than individual experience. The white garments in this vision speak of divine purpose, assignments that transcend personal fulfillment, calling that exceeds individual satisfaction, influence that extends beyond single generations. This person recognizes the kingdom significance embedded in your life path. Type, I walk in purpose to align with divine assignment. Your agreement activates supernatural empowerment. This connection carries heaven's fingerprints, divine orchestration, evident in its timing, supernatural arrangement visible in its circumstances, heavenly purpose revealed in its alignment with kingdom principles rather than worldly patterns or cultural expectations. The wealth this person brings includes perspectives developed through their distinctive journey, wisdom earned through specific challenges, insights gained through particular experiences, resources cultivated through unique gifts. Their abundance complements your path rather than complicating it. You've been through divine repositioning that felt disruptive, but was strategically directive. Like chess pieces moved with master strategy, heaven has been placing you precisely where you need to be for kingdom purposes beyond what your natural eyes can currently see. The angels have been specifically assigned to prepare atmospheres for divine revelation, creating conditions conducive to truth, establishing environments suitable for vulnerability, developing circumstances appropriate for sacred disclosure. Heavenly timing considers all factors simultaneously. This young and wealthy soul who sees you in white recognizes divine marking on your life, evidence of heavenly selection, spiritual designation, and kingdom authorization that may be invisible to casual observers, but unmistakable to spiritually discerning eyes. Type, I carry purpose, to align with this divine designation. Your acknowledgement releases supernatural empowerment. The secret they've been keeping involves dreams being divinely protected until perfect timing. Like master artists who refuse to reveal unfinished masterpieces, heaven has been meticulously developing every detail of this connection with precision that premature exposure would compromise. You've been experiencing increased spiritual sensitivity, dreams more vivid, intuition more accurate, discernment more precise. These aren't random developments, but divine equipping, supernatural tools being sharpened for assignments connected to this divine relationship. The image of you in white represents spiritual authority, divine empowerment to fulfill purpose, overcome opposition, and establish kingdom principles in your sphere of influence. This person sees this mantle of authority on you even when circumstances temporarily obscure it. Divine connections transcend superficial compatibility and extend into spiritual alignment. Beyond personality preferences or physical attraction, they're rooted in divine purpose, kingdom values, and eternal perspective. Their foundation isn't shifting emotion but unchanging principles. You've endured seasons of divine silence when heaven seemed deaf to your prayers. This apparent absence wasn't abandonment, but advancement, developing your spiritual stamina, testing your sustaining faith, establishing your unconditional trust. Nothing builds strength like resistance. Type, I find strength to align with divine development. Your surrender creates space for supernatural work. The angels want you to understand that this divine connection isn't just about personal fulfillment. It's about kingdom purpose, eternal impact, and multi-generational influence. Your union has significance beyond your individual satisfaction or personal happiness. This young and wealthy individual who can't stop seeing you in white brings not just resources but responsibility. True abundance always carries accountability. They understand that blessing is meant to flow through them, not merely to them. A perspective aligned with divine economics. The secret they've been keeping has been divinely shielded from premature exposure. Like precious seeds requiring darkness before germination, some divine purposes need sacred covering before their appointed revelation. This protection isn't about deception, but divine development. You've been sensing a call to higher standards recently in your thoughts, words, actions, and associations. This elevated consciousness isn't random moral improvement, it's divine preparation, aligning your life with the level of connection being established for your future. The white garments in this vision speak of spiritual readiness, preparedness for divine assignment, availability for kingdom purpose, equipping for supernatural partnership. This person recognizes that you've been through necessary preparation, though the process has often been painful. Type, I stand ready to declare your spiritual preparedness. Your proclamation activates heavenly recognition. Beloved soul, I feel the divine confirmation that this message was meant specifically for you. The angels have been working tirelessly on your behalf, orchestrating circumstances, removing obstacles, and preparing the perfect timing for this revelation to unfold in your life. The young and wealthy soul who sees you in white has been divinely positioned in your journey, carrying a secret that will soon be revealed when heaven determines the moment is perfect. Remember that divine timing isn't about punishment or withholding. It's about protection and perfection. Every delay has been purposeful. Every wait has been strategic. Every seeming setback has been divine repositioning for greater blessing. The white garments in this prophetic vision represent your spiritual identity, your divine purpose, and the sacred covenant being established for kingdom impact beyond personal fulfillment. Type, I receive this word as your final declaration of faith and agreement with what heaven is establishing in your life. Your cooperation with divine purpose activates accelerated manifestation and positions you perfectly for what's unfolding. The angels rejoice over your faith to believe before you see, to trust before you understand, and to receive before full revelation. This is the essence of faith that moves mountains and activates heavenly intervention in earthly circumstances. Until next time, beloved soul, walk confidently in the knowledge that you are seen, known, and divinely positioned for connection that transcends human expectation and fulfills kingdom purpose. The best is not just ahead, it's actively unfolding even now in realms your natural eyes cannot yet perceive. Trust the process, honor the timing, embrace the journey. Divine perfection is worth the wait. Before you scroll away, I just want to say thank you for watching. If this video meant something to you, please consider subscribing to the channel. It helps more than you know. Share it with your friends on WhatsApp, Facebook, wherever you connect with people. You never know who might need to hear this today. If you'd like to go a step further, you can support the channel with a super thanks. It truly makes a difference. Thank you again for being here. May you be blessed, and may your prayers be heard. See you in the next one.